This morning I did the hearing yesterday. Pardon me, I'm driving, so I'm trying to pay attention to everything going on here. I did a little update video with the court hearing yesterday. Still waiting to hear back from the court to get a copy of the DVD, and as soon as I do that, I'll post it so you can see exactly what happened. I'm trying not to share a whole bunch about it because the radio's saying that way I don't want to preface it. You guys can just see it. That's the goal of that. Where I'm going right now is the result of the last few days. If you watched my live feed the other day from the DMV when we had a long discussion with investigator James Appleton, he was talking in a lot of circles, and I had my customer there, bought a car from me 8 months ago at an auction. And the DMV kept the paperwork in their pile of paperwork to investigate, I guess, for 8 months until my customer went in to go try to register the car that he's bought, paid for, taxes collected, all that other good stuff. So a little background on that if you haven't been watching my channel. I've got a towing company business that I've been running for the last few decades, and the whole reason I do this channel is because of what the government's been doing to me in that business. And that's what brought up about this whole story of everything. From the DMV to the Deputy Jason No Bueno to the courts not letting you into the recording or the clerk's office with a camera to, well, hell, the Nevada Highway Patrol when they detained me for recording at Department of Welfare. So it's been kind of a long story. Continuing story, just kind of keeps growing. So today is more of that growth with the DMV doing what I see as illegal things, making up laws to, I don't know, making up laws for some purpose. But anyways, my business is a towing business. The government orders us to tow cars. We tow cars and store them until the owner comes and picks them up. And if the owner doesn't come and pick them up, the law says we need to send out legal notifications through certified mail, need to do newspaper advertising, need to post a public notice of a public auction, invite the public to come buy the stuff. And so for this customer, we did that. He came to my auction, he bought a car, and we sent the paperwork in. The DMV investigator told me everything looked perfect. All the I's were dotted, all the T's were crossed, didn't miss any steps in the legal process. And I had a conversation. I was going to post our conversation, but this has happened before that. So hopefully we'll have the whole conversation and video within live here in a few minutes. More than a few minutes. The appointment's supposed to be 1:30. So you get to listen to me for 25 minutes driving and talking about this thing until we get to hear his side of the story. But he said, well, the vehicle's stolen. I said, well, what do you mean it's stolen? He said, the police ordered us to pick it up. How can it be stolen? I said, the police put it in their system that marks it that my company's got the vehicle, and when somebody calls up and says, hey, the car is stolen, you're supposed to tell them, hey, this towing company's got the vehicle, go pick it up. There's laws for that. That's part of the process of how vehicles or junk vehicles, if they're parked in front of your house, when the tow company comes and takes those junk cars away, they're put through this exact same process as a really nice car. If you're drunk in the middle of the night and you get arrested, go to jail for being drunk, when you get out, you can find your car. Or if you're the guy that abandoned the car and doesn't care on the side of the street, well, you never find out about that part of the system. So after we impounded the vehicle, somebody called in and identified themselves as the owner and said that the vehicle was stolen. And evidently at that point in time, law enforcement had us tow this car. Law enforcement said, okay, we'll accept a stolen vehicle report and we'll mark the vehicle stolen in the national computer database. So they did that while we had the car, after they told us to keep the car. So we were doing our lien process, sent out the letters, did all the legal stuff. The day and time and the place the auction comes around, we got a bidder, somebody bid it, somebody paid us a little bit of money. We sold the car to him. Again, on the live feed, you can go see the guy that bought the car. His name's Alex. Cool guy. And so now DMV called me up today, this investigator. And here, let me switch things around for you here for a second, try to make it a little more interesting. You can see what I see while I'm driving here. It's really a pretty day out here with the snow on the ground. So anyways, the investigator calls me up and says, hey, the vehicle's stolen. I need to come do a stolen vehicle thing. And we told the owner where it's at, and they can come and pick it up from you. So that's what I'm in the process of going and doing, is I'm going to go meet this guy, and he's going to go mark it unstolen, I guess. He's got to come see it now. Alex, my customer, he returned the car to my yard, so it's in a storage yard. So that way if it was marked stolen outside of my storage yard, since I'm a towing company, the police would have had another towing company impound it and take it, creating a whole lot of extra fees now. But since the government did not input the fact that they had us tow the car, and then they input the fact that this other person called and said that the car was stolen, and then we sent out certified letters and nobody responded to the certified letters, evidently now the government is unwinding a lawful lien sale. So does this mean when people have their houses foreclosed upon and things go wrong in their lives, or they just aren't aware of things, the government does these lien sales, that because they're unhappy afterwards, or some mistake was made on the owner's part, the person that's supposed to be responsible, the mistakes made on the responsible party's part, meaning the state of Nevada, that now all of the private individuals who are involved in this transaction have to unwind their transaction, and the state of Nevada can try to fix its mistake. That's kind of what I see happening here with this whole deal. Is I did a lawful lien sale, my customer bought the car, 8 months went by, and now all of a sudden the government is saying, oh, well, that was a stolen car. It's just not making a lot of sense to me. So this is the type of stuff that when I ask them about where does the statute say it, where does the administrative code say it, where is this constitutional, they never have any answers, but they just do things. And so going back to why did I start doing this channel, that describes it exactly right there. Because I'm sitting there dealing with life going, how is this making any sense? There's got to be other people out there that think this is weird. It doesn't make sense, not right. And so that's the story of why I share this stuff with you, because every day running a business, and I hear this from other businesses and other industries. A friend of mine's just opening up a chicken wing restaurant. And it's taken him a year plus just to deal with bureaucracy, just to deal with the problems that the bureaucracy puts in front of you just to run a business, and then they want to regulate everything in the business. For what purpose? I don't know how this benefits the people. Most of the rules are designed to enrich other people or enrich somebody at small business's expense or the public's expense, because really if the small business is getting hurt, you as the consumer, when you go in there, we're baking that into our pricing, so we're raising our pricing for that. So why do we as a society let this happen? So that's what I'm about right here. I've got about another 20 minutes of driving, and I don't know how much more talking I got left to me right now. So I think I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this live stream off for a few minutes, and about 1:30 when I get there, I'll be back on with the live stream with the investigator. I'm going to go make another phone call. So that's what's going on today with part of my life away from the Bueno thing. It's just dealing with business, dealing with government. So I'll talk to you later.